E1M1 Hangar is an iconic level for the Doom series. Not only it is the first level to introduce players to Doom, but according to former Doom creative director John Romero, it was the final level they've made before they shipped the game. While the level is short, it is a level that packs a lot of punch, and it is the epitome of a quality Doom level. It has action, pacing, exploration, a memorable soundtrack, indoor and outdoor environments all embraced by a horseshoe layout design. This map may not be the most complex official Doom map, but it is the one that many Doom fans will remember for a long time. As someone who's been playing Doom 2016/Doom SnapMap since day one, E1M1 Hangar has definitely been remade and reimagined many times from the fans. I'm here to tell you what is the best one I played, because there are a lot of them that have been made. Some of them are definitely not that great, but some of them are totally worth your attention, and I'm going to tell you why. Without a doubt, there will be only one map that's going to stand out from these highlighted remakes of Hangar, but they are still worth mentioning and worth your time if you ever want to play quality remakes of Hangar. Let's get this show started. I'm gonna mention a bunch of various remakes that deserve your time and talk about what makes them so cool. If you do happen to find any of these maps interesting, I will provide the map ID at the end of their section. I will only discuss remakes of E1M1 Hangar and not survival themed E1M1 maps, which I have played a couple of them. The first noteworthy E1 remake is definitely old and antiquated, but it does belong a spot for this video. This map was by far the best E1M1 remake I played during the launch day of Doom SnapMap, which was totally rough due to a lot of missing quality of life features that SnapMap would eventually rectify with future updates. Despite the map being extremely simple, it's mostly prefabricated modules with little to no decoration, but it did choose the right modules to call back the rooms of the original E1M1. This remake is also missing the secrets, but the main reason why it deserves a spot for this list is because the map was a great map that stood out the many low quality snap maps that were made at the time. This map was probably one of the best launch day maps back then, and that was a big deal because when I wanted to play Doom SnapMap, I wanted something that had quality, and this had it. It might show its age in today's times, but you have to respect its presence. This version of Hangar has always been one of my favorites, and it was made back in the free update 2 days, and during these times the hell-themed props were a massive upgrade for those who enjoyed making custom geometry maps. This particular author would eventually make a hell-themed Hangar out of it, and it has been updated with the later quality of life content from the other updates. It still holds up very well. The atmosphere of this one has always been admirable. I absolutely love the outdoor environments, and it's definitely a lot of fun to play too. It really does nail down the flow of the original version, respectively. But as great as this one is, I cannot say it's the best one I played. But this remake can certainly hold its own. It's also cool to experience Hangar with the hellish environments, because Doom 2016's hell-themed areas have always been awesome to look at. This Hangar remake is not just a remake, but more of a reimagination, and it's a pretty good one. It feels both familiar and refreshing, and the enhanced prefabricated modules is also a welcoming sight. It is a map that's trying to be more challenging than the original, so it does got some moments where the player will have to keep their guard up, but it sure is fun to deal with them. However, it does kind of throw in a little too many shield guys for my taste, and if you don't know the secrets, they are a pain to deal with. With that said, it's still a map that does deserve your attention, especially the new content was cool, and there are some cute throwbacks to the original games too. Far from the best, but competent and interesting. This version of Hangar is also similar to the last one I mentioned, another reimagination of a beloved classic, and it is fairly long for E1M1 standards. So if you want a longer E1M1, this is the map. It also has new areas, and they are definitely welcoming to have, and it's much heavier on the combat too. Other than that, it's a pretty good version overall, and it is Cool to see the familiar areas all decked out with the 2016 visual updates. You also have fast movement speed in this one, so if you like going fast, this map definitely wants you to play aggressively. Not the best Hangar remake, but it sure is fun and does deserve its praise. This E1M1 remake is a special one, mainly because it uses modded content that was released by the community and not by id Software themselves. It's absolutely stunning, and it is easily one of the best ones in terms of visual design because it has so many cool little things that capture my attention, like the prop usage and the cool looking textures on the floor. It also plays good too, and it is fairly faithful to the original version, which is definitely something I like to experience in my E1M1 remakes. Definitely a strong contender of being one of the best remakes I played, but it is not quite there, unfortunately. Still though, this one is a fantastic version, and it should definitely be experienced if you enjoy quality remakes of classic Doom levels. This version is simply ambitious and it's full of surprises. The abstract art design will instantly impress you. This map is also a hybrid of a remake and reimagination, so there will be new areas to explore. It's jam-packed with action and puzzle solving, so it will be a fairly lengthy Hangar experience for a first-time playthrough. It is a respectable version overall, and while it is mostly an easy level, it does start to become surprisingly hard at the end, so be aware of that. By far the best reimagined E1M1 I played from the community, but not the best fan-made E1M1 I experienced. But it is a satisfying one to play through, and it will be a better map once you play it with knowledge. I actually bumped into this version of Hangar by just surfing around the browser, and this one was surprisingly good. It's kind of embarrassing that the author misspelled the map's name, but there are some cool decoration going on in this map. It reminds me of the first E1M1 remake I talked about, but completely embraced by all the later updates, and the author certainly put it in good use. There are some interesting gameplay changes to make this map feel a little refreshing, so it does feel a little bit like a reimagination, but it's mostly a full-out remake of the original map. Definitely a solid one, and it is always fun to play quality levels by authors I'm not too familiar with. There isn't many people playing this level too, so it's sort of a hidden gem. But is it the best out of the ones I mentioned? The answer is no. This one is an extremely atmospheric version of Hangar, and it is definitely jam-packed with lots of interesting ideas. It's very heavy on the combat, definitely more challenging than the original one, and it has a Doom Eternal dash-like ability added into the map. You actually move slow in this map, so it wants you to dash while you're in combat. There are a lot of great custom geometry design going on here, and it's basically an awesome level to play from start to finish. It's definitely a map that's trying to bring out more out of this meant to be simple level, but it's also showcasing some of the cool stuff you can do with Doom SnapMap, with just some imagination being thrown into the mix. But it isn't the best one. I've already mentioned a decent amount of maps that definitely deserves to be played, and they all have their own little merits to offer. I also want to mention before I reveal the final Hangar remake, all the previous Hangar remakes I talked about were not a ranking of one another. These maps were just randomly placed, so don't think this list is basically a ranking list until the final map, which is the best one. It's basically me talking about the highlighted E1M1 versions I played, and I think all of these are totally worth playing in their own rights. But as cool these E1M1 remakes are, they don't dethrone this E1M1 remake. Now it is time for me to reveal the best E1M1 Hangar remake I played in the Doom SnapMap world. The best E1M1 Hangar remake for Doom SnapMap I played is this one right here. It's made by a fairly well-known mapper in the SnapMap community, and this map is by far one of his best he's ever done. The atmosphere he portrayed is absolutely mind-blowing, the attention of detail is inspiring too, and on top of that, it plays great. It seemed like he wanted to focus the map to mostly make it feel like a passion project for the Doom series, because that's the type of vibe I got while playing through this level the first time. Another thing that makes this remake so amazing is it just nails down everything that makes the original version great. It is simply a map you can learn something while playing through, and it will definitely want to encourage you to step up your mapping game because it's just that good. But as amazing this version is, you might enjoy the other E1M1 versions because it is a subjective thing. Since this video is nearing to the end, I want to say thank you for watching and learning some of the cool E1M1 remakes that the Doom 2016 mapping community has done over the years. Hopefully you'll give them a shot because all these maps are cool and worth playing once or twice. Thank you for watching, everyone.